Hello everybody and welcome to another Harry Partridge live stream with guess who? Guess who the guest host is today? It's me. I'm the host. I'm tired. I'm exhausted. I feel like I've not stopped working for the last 53 years. If you just heard a nice bone crack, that was me having a stretch. I don't want to gripe and moan and whine, because that's not fun. But yeah, man, I have just been non-stop working. Dr. B's part 3s, Dr. B's came out this week to, you know, I think a halfway decent reaction from people. But there's no time to waste, man. Getting right back into the animation. No time to lose whatsoever. Hello to the people in the chat, such as Juzme, Max Power, Living Dew, Gallo, a couple of new faces, maybe from the main channel. Maybe they didn't know I had a live streaming channel. I do, guys. It's true. The rumors are true. Davy88, an old favorite of the channel. Nacho Hamburg. Hello, Nacho. Hey, Gucksack. Hello, Gucksack. My good buddy Dave. I believe that's Dave. I don't think that Dan has the login. That's Dave. Excellent filmmaker in his own right, and helped on Trilby Dogtooth versus the Snapper Chap. Hello, Storktoons. Storktoons is helping me on this project. He is working for me as an assistant at the moment for very miserly pay, I might add, but he's doing a great job. Hello, Bad Cow Bunch. Hello, Fun Cubes. Hi, Keith Roswell. Stefan Brownie. Yeah, a lot of people. I'm starting to get lost now in who I've said hello to. Connor Conman, Terranium, Jacob Tucker, AJ Fusco, Tewak, Bowser the Dog, classic Bowser the Dog. Yeah, I know it's Dave Gucksack. Yeah, well, I don't know why I even assumed or even mentioned that it could be otherwise. Edie of Hamry, hello. Sarah, Tennel, Siri. I'm just saying noises at this point. Alright, guys, I got to crack on with some work. And speaking of cracks, oh, you hear that? Hear that? Beautiful. A little bit of Coke Zero. Aspartame. Definitely going to be very, very glad that I had lots of aspartame in about 20 years' time. Certainly not going to do any long-term damage. Hello, can you all my name? It says Sarah Tennel Siri. I think I already said it. Right, what I'm going to do, guys, is quickly tweet out a link so that the rest of planet Earth can, you know, check it out. They won't, but in theory they could, as long as the tweet link has been sent out. Just going to copy the URL. Excuse me. Hello, NASA, Buraidi. Lots of new faces tonight. Good to have you guys here. So today I'm going to be working on some animation for a project that I can't really talk a whole lot about because it's not my project. This is a very brief little stint that I'm doing as an animation and kind of a co-director, I suppose, on an intro for an upcoming YouTube show on the channel Dead Meat. If you guys are into horror film reviews and comedy, check out Dead Meat. I think I put a link in the description. And also working with Zoran, who is, you can find a link to his channel Low Carb Comedy in the links. Zoran's working with Dead Meat, I'm working with Zoran, and together we're kind of making this intro or sort of teaser, you know, content to support what he's doing with them. This is not the content. I'm sort of just making an intro, I guess. I shouldn't say any more than that. I don't want to give away any you know, hardcore clues as to what I'm doing. But yeah, because it's such a short intro that we're doing, because there's really, you know, not a lot of length to the thing. We're not, I don't know why I put it so strangely. There's not a lot of girth and veins to this cartoon because it's a short little cartoon. Basically, we're putting in really nice flashy animation, and why not? So I'll show you what we're working with at the moment. Just turn off the sides of the screen here. I can't play you the theme tune. I don't think I have the right to do that, and it's not final anyway. Okay, so imagine that there's great, fantastic music that makes the whole thing just come together. So there's our first couple of characters. Okay, so we got this character James pop up, and then whoosh, he pulls in Zoran, and then whoosh, he pulls down a like a roll-up display board thing that says The Zoran Show. And that's what I'm going to rough animate out tonight. Obviously, I've got my key poses done, but, you know, I can't accept this as the animation. They can't just snap. So I'm going to have James. James is the guy in the top hat with the cigar. I'm going to have him reach up and grab and pull down the roller, and Zoran's gonna like back up and look positively delighted, and then that transitions nicely into the next shot where we have the kind of the shot is going to transition in a fancy way. It's going to look like the paper gets all crumpled up, like the shot is going to basically turn into a piece of paper that is frozen, and it gets crumpled up by Zoran, who's doesn't like the ideas that he's coming up with. So there you go. So it's da 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 da, like that. So he's throwing the paper away and it smacks a waste paper basket. Obviously, lots of stuff unfinished, no finished backgrounds. You know, the paper hitting the basket isn't finished. Today, we're going to focus on not actually finishing animation because, like I said, I'm working with assistant animators on this project. So I have people helping me do coloring in, clean up, you know, mental support, back rubs, whatever I need. No, it's all remote. They're working in other countries, unfortunately, so there's no back rubs. But yeah, I'm going to be doing some rough animation to try and bring this action to life. I don't know if I'll do both characters today. I may only get to one. I think James would be the more interesting character to animate in this shot, seeing as he's pulling down the display. So let's try and get to that today. So he's on this pink layer here, the fancy pink layer. So gonna have him go up basically and then come back down again because he has to reach up to grab the display. So I will begin roughing him out in just a moment, but before I do that, I see a few new people are coming to chat. Let me just say hello to you guys quickly and then I'll get back to work. Let me put on my glasses so I can see what I'm looking at here. Hello, Low Carb Comedy. That's Zoran, everyone. That's the guy who has made all this possible today. And you can find a link to his channel, Low Carb Comedy, in the description, along with the link to the Dead Meat channel, where ultimately this will be seen. But hello to Zoran, Low Carb Comedy. Hello to Q-Boy. Hello to Donny Arts. Hello to Blob. Audible Milk. Joe Dudit. Lots of people today. So yeah, thanks for coming by, Zoran. Zoran says he's excited to see it in motion. Me too. I'm not excited to animate it because it's a lot of work, but I'm excited to see it come together at the very least. James Campbell says, I can't stay. It's the middle of the workday where I am. However, I want to say I love your work. We even adopted a cat since they named him Bees. Oh, thank you, James. I hope Bees the cat is doing well. That's a cute name for a cat, by the way. Hi, Jellen. Alright, so we're gonna have James come. Let's turn off this layer. This is annoying me, this layer. So we're gonna have James kind of come. Oh, that's a big old thick brush. Don't want that thick, lad. Get rid of that. Where is that gone to? There you go. So we want him to kind of come down, I think. So he's going to sort of scrunch down like this. I'm not sure about, actually, let's see. So he's going to have one arm up like this. He loses his cigar. See, he's got no cigar here, and he's got a cigar over here. So we're going to do something where the cigar gets thrown away, I'm thinking. So he's going to come up like this. Dun 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 bum. So yeah, okay, let's have him come all the way up. I don't want to have the character go off the screen too much. I like to keep the characters as much as I can on the screen. Can't talk today. Also, we are drawing some horror characters in this movie, so I have been looking up characters from Scream yesterday and today. So, alright, so we have him go up before he comes back down, and that's not going to work as is, so we want a lot more snap to it than that. We want him to go, before he goes down, or before he goes up rather, I should say he goes down. Like this. So let's have him kind of... have him probably pull Zoran, who's the younger looking kind of fella. I'll have him pull him down like so. Younger looking, I'm not sure if they're actually younger, but I thought that the dynamic of making one of them look taller and older helped with the kind of storytelling of having like an enthusiastic boss and kind of an employee working together. So there's a little bit of kind of, you know, bending the rules a little bit here to kind of get the characters across. So I'll have him go down and then have him go whoop, whoop, whoosh. So then he goes down and he goes up. Like so. And then what I'm going to have him do is rather than go up and then just come back down, I want him to sort of overshoot coming down. So he comes down really hard. Comes down hard, man. Comes down hard and just sort of overshoots the action a little bit, okay? Like so. So it's that kind of thing, okay? So it's go down, go up, go down again, and then finally settle up. So... all right, I know these are not good drawings that are going to win me anything, but yeah, it's just, you know, the whole point is we want to really make it pop. It's very fast. It's a very quick little animation we're doing. A lot is happening in that short run time, so you want to get things to really pop. It's one of the principles of animation. What do they call it? Animation? No, hang on. One of the principles of animation is just called animation. Anticipation, action, and reaction. So for everything you do, you want to kind of do the anticipation, which is the build-up, do the thing, and then have kind of the reaction to the thing. So you don't just have someone drink a glass of water by picking it up. You have them look thirsty, draw their arm back, then drink it, and then go... and, you know, wash their face or like wipe their face or whatever, lick their lips, whatever. It's like something to tell the audience the thing that just happened. Otherwise, they may not have picked it up, and therefore the story isn't sort of told as well as that. So, okie doke. All right. Hey, Mage Burger. Hey, Dead Meat. Hey, Dead Meat. I'm saying Dead Meat as if that's the person's name. I hope that. I don't know who exactly is behind the Dead Meat moniker right now. It could be James, it could be anyone. Mr. Partridge, would you like me to tweet or share this live stream or YouTube to bring more people here? Oh man, hey, yeah, why not? That would be very interesting. I've got to be a lot more entertaining though. Thank you for the offer. That's very kind. If you want to do that, that could be fun. See what's happening as a result of that would be very interesting. But it's animation, so it's not the most interesting thing to watch happen in the world when it happens live, but let's go for it. Okay, so we're gonna have James come down, and let's I'm gonna get like a closer idea of what that'll look like here. Let's make our drawings a lot lighter on the board here, just so I'm not trying to trace over black lines. Let's get something to look a little bit more slick. Okay. Let's get our drawings a little bit more together. These are not going to be quite tie-downs yet, but they're going to be something in that ballpark. So we want the hat kind of like here. Like that. And the hair is going to be flipping up at that point and sort of dragging behind. We may have to get to some of that stuff later on, like the monocle. That's got a cord of the monocle here that tucks into the waistcoat. You want to have that sort of delay and flap around. Dead Meat says, "Oh, it is James. Hi, James. Well, nice to meet you. In I guess in live form, we've emailed, but I've never spoken to James before. In a live venue, a live digital venue. Fingers crossed you get some super chats coming your way. Well, that would be very nice, but not necessary. We're doing this. I am being paid, by the way, guys. This is work I'm being paid for, so that's already compensation that's come my way. But yeah, let's get to this. So James is going to go down, and we're going to have him really kind of bunch up his expression and look sort of, you know, almost pained which is, you know, gonna help sell the fact that he's going down. The characters are not talking at this point. I sort of have their mouths open to imply, you know, a conversation's going on, but I'm not going to have them moving their mouths up and down like they're chatting away. There's really... What's happening here for this project is it's so brief that it's really about a lot of exaggeration. And also, because the runtime is really quick, we want to make sure that people get something really high quality. I really want to do something that's as close to, like, I was thinking of Aladdin a lot, like a really high quality, glossy sort of Disney animation as possible, which is not really, I'm not really that good, but we got some good assistants working on this to help me out. So yeah. So we're going to have James's hand here. I think, trying to think what we do with the cigar, because he's going to lose it and throw it away. I don't know why. Maybe he could keep it, but I like the idea of him throwing it away, just because he's, you know, he's in the moment. Mr. Matamation in the chat says, new idea, super duper chats. They're like super chats, but each one is potentially bankrupting. For me or for them? I assume you mean for them. How about they just send me a big ham or, you know, a basket of fruit? That would be a pretty great super chat. Low Carb Comedy says release the internet krakens. I mean, yeah, that could happen. I got to make sure that we do something really good here. So yeah, as James goes down, I'm going to have the hand kind of drag here, so that you don't want things to just, in animation, you never want anything just from moved from A to B. You want to make sure that everything, I don't know, sort of either goes from A overshoots B and then has to come back to, or goes to C and comes back to B, or stays on A too long. You want things to drag and to snap and to overshoot. Any movement that is robotic, I think, is going to be a problem. So, or just not a problem, just not as interesting to look at. It looks like it's been animated by a robot if that happens. So because he's going down so quickly, we'll have his little butt sticking up in the air, like so. And the delay on the waistcoat too, you know, so what I'm doing here, I'm going to have the bow tie and the waistcoat kind of corners, they're really going to flip up and sort of delay, because as James is traveling down, business James in his business waistcoat, as he flies down really quickly, you know, everything else is going to sort of lag behind, like you're dragging a big, I don't know, a big piece of cloth around. It's going to sort of flap and flow in a way that looks nice. I don't know what this arm here, this snaking shape, that joint is totally broken, but I'm thinking what we'll do is let's actually get rid of Zoran, not permanently. Let's get rid of him for this frame. I'm actually thinking that they'll come down together. I like the idea that James is sort of bullying him a little bit. Not, you know, not in a vicious way, but I like the idea that sort of Zoran is getting yanked down by James. So something like this. We won't flesh James out, Zoran out just yet, but we're gonna have him kind of get pulled down. So it's something like this. All right, he's got his arm around his neck because he's giving him the talk. He's pulling him down, and then James is gonna like fly up here. The Simpsons music is not going to be playing. It's just an accompaniment for you to have a vague idea of what this thing will look like. So he pulls Zoran down. I do know their names, and whips back up. So now, I'm not super great at drawing these characters yet. If I show you guys where we're at, we have a few people filtering into the chat, and I will remind people occasionally of what we're doing here. It's going to get messy with all the different layers that aren't finished yet. We've got James fly in like that, and then whoosh, pulls Zoran in, and then whoosh, pulls down the banner, the display that says the Zoran Show. So that's what we're roughing out today, this banner reveal. Or this display reveal. I'm going to actually use this frame as reference. I'm going to try and draw the head of James here looking sort of up at the display. Try and get it a little bit more on point here. So we want that kind of thing. So, hello to anybody who's new here. I hope you have a good time. Watching animation live is a pretty tedious thing. This stuff takes, well, it can take days to just do a couple of seconds, or it can take, you know, a couple of weeks just to do a minute or so. So this is, it's hard work, but I'll try and do my best to talk you through it and explain myself as I go. So, trying to explain what I'm doing. So right now I just wanted to reference this image here to get a better idea of James's profile, because when he comes up here to grab the display and bring it down, I was thinking we're basically going to draw him kind of like, you know, Egyptian art, almost in profile, like just seeing the side of his face. So something like that. Hey, James, I'm glad you're finding it cool. Hello to all the new people in the chat. Hey, Tamagotchi's a regular here. Good to see Tamagotchi. Hello, Tilly Frog, the animator. Donny Arts is talking to Fun Cubes about something. Hey, Anus Ojan. Hi, Roy Bucket. Hi, John La Banana. Terranium says the charm is seeing things coming to life. Well, thank you, Terranium. I agree. I agree, man. I mean, every time... So, if you guys don't know about Dead Meat, they are a horror movie, I'd say, centric review channel, but they do a lot of a different analysis and sort of interesting looks at horror movies. They do a really cool series called Kill Count, where they look at all the murders, all the funny, interesting murders that happen in horror movies. Not just murders, you know, people getting killed. So, you know, that can be a supernatural thing, or it can be like an accidental thing, like in Final Destination. That's not quite a murder. It's more of a terrible run of bad luck. But they do tons of different horror movies. I love horror movies, as some of you guys may know. If I wasn't doing animation, I think I would be trying to make low budget horror movies, and I think that's one day what I'm going to end up doing anyway, because it's just, I want to scratch that itch. I love Evil Dead. I love any kind of paranormal stuff. I mean, I love the Ghostbusters and Beetlejuice, which are not really horror movies, but they're definitely tangential to horror in that they're paranormal kind of supernatural movies. Love that kind of thing. That's honestly, even movies like What Women Want with Mel Gibson, where he gets the power to listen to what, you know, women are thinking. You can read their thoughts. Even that, which is not by any stretch of the imagination a horror movie, that supernatural element of being able to read people's thoughts, or something like I was going to say The Conjuring. It's not the movie I'm thinking of. The Prestige with Christian Bale. That's a cool movie. It's not even horror, but I love, you know, Evil Dead's great. Hey, we've got a couple of super chats, very unnecessary, and they're going to distract me from working, but thank you very much, Gabe the Babe. Gabe the Babe gives $4.99 and says, "The Return of the King, you're the best YouTube animator." Thank you, Gabe the Babe. I don't agree, but I appreciate it, as many people much better than I, but I appreciate it, dude. Thank you. And Magpie with the £1.99 with that nice British pound. It's good to see some representation of the Queen's currency. Thank you, Magpie. Magpie gives $1.99 and says, "Amazing job on the latest Dr. Bees episode." Well, thank you very much, Magpie. Yeah, guys, to any of you who are unbeknownst, which I don't imagine is that many of you, but maybe some people who have come over from the Dead Meat crew, I did put out a cartoon this week, Dr. Bees Returns, which is sort of a sequel to a cartoon I did many years ago. This is a silly superhero character. You can find that on my main channel. This is by no means my main channel. This is my live streaming silly nonsense dump channel. So it's not quite where I am although I'm here more often than my main channel, because it takes a long time to release a cartoon, but you can do a live stream a couple of times a week. So I'm here more often than the other channel. So okay, we've got James here. Let's just do a little refresh in case we get lost. I drew his goatee beard there on, or whatever you'd call that. I guess it's a beard. It's a beard, folks. Call it by its name, Harry. It's a beard. So we've got James popping in. We're not going to see any more of him there because he's not properly cropped. So let's actually go back to the main timeline. We have James pop in. We have James swoop down, grab Zoran, and then he's going to go up, and then it turns into absolute chaos because all the layers are colliding and messing up things there. But James goes down, James goes up, James goes down, James goes up. And he's going to pull down this display. So we're still kind of roughing things out here. It's going to be very rough tonight, folks. I don't think I'll be streaming for any more than 2 hours tonight, and you'll be horrified by how little actually gets done. Ryan, thank you very much for the kind super chat. Ryan gives $10 and says, "Hey, I can't stay for the stream, but just wanted to say thank you so much for what you do." Well, thank you, Ryan. I loved and laughed every single of your animations. Trilby Dogtooth was amazing. Peace, man. Well, thank you. I really appreciate the support on Trilby Dogtooth, because that was a change of the norm for me. But talking about, you know, horror movies and the supernatural and stuff, which is sort of related to what we're doing today, doing the work for the Dead Meat YouTube channel, which is all horror related. Trilby Dogtooth is a character of mine I would love to do more of, and he is the greatest monster killer that ever lived, stuck in a world without any monsters worth killing. All the werewolves and vampires have been killed long ago because they made a nuisance of themselves and people killed them already. So the only ones left are the ones that no one cares about, that, you know, don't really cause any trouble. And so there's one cartoon I put on my channel last year, on my main channel, which is him fighting one of these particular monsters, and it was a passion project. I will do a lot more of it. I'd like to keep exploring that character. The animation takes a long time. It'll take even longer if I keep talking, so I should probably do some work. But hey, Comic Tropes, good to see you. Comic Tropes, by the way, great YouTube channel and a great guy. Chris runs Comic Tropes. I did an intro for him, an animated intro that you can find on his more recent episodes, and I'm doing an animated intro today for a different YouTube channel, which is Dead Meat, by way of Low Carb Comedy, who's also in the chat, and says, "Well done, Homer." And my favorite meal, a well done Homer. I don't want him rare. Okay, so I want to create some nice shapes here as James comes up. This is the thing. I always do this. I always run out of space for my characters. I want to have them move around so much, but then I don't want, the top of their head to be off the screen. Reminds me of a story Lloyd Kaufman tells. Lloyd Kaufman, by the way, great progenitor of indie horror movies such as Toxic Crusader, Poultrygeist, all the great Trauma movies, really. He's kind of the brains behind the Trauma stuff. But Lloyd Kaufman tells in one of his books that I read that he had a showing of his movie Poultrygeist, and he went out for like a cigarette break with someone or something. They stepped outside, and there was a critic that said, "Lloyd, really interesting movie." Oh, that was it. I don't think he was watching it. I think he was in the lobby or doing some other stuff during a screening. They said, "Really interesting movie. What was with the decision to cut the tops of all the actors' heads off?" And they didn't mean, in a gore way. They weren't talking about that. They were talking about why was the top of everyone's head cut off in every shot? Why was it framed so poorly? And he didn't know what the hell they were talking about until he walked into the booth and to see what they were watching. And the projector was set up so that they were only seeing the bottom half of the screen, and the entire movie was like an hour in. And his insistence, they started the whole thing over again, which the audience was not happy about. But as a filmmaker, I think you understand kind of that it's not good to have your movie ruined by the top half of the screen not being visible for the first hour. It would have been nice if they could have fixed that sooner, but it's kind of a funny story. It's a funny story that's not mine, and I'm telling you it anyway. Okay, so we've got James coming up here. I don't quite know where the cord for the display is going to be. So as he grabs Zoran, he comes down. He's going to grab this cord and yank it down. What I'm thinking is it'll probably be dangling about here, this sort of thing. And what he's going to do is he's actually going to lift it up, so we can have it. Sort of hanging up like that, because I'd like his arm to come up as much as possible, but you have to sort of obey the logic of the environment. And if I turn on the display, you can see it's hanging at about this level, so the cord would probably be hanging about there. But if we turn that off and go back to this image here, at this point, guys, I'm going to save, because we do not want to crash. That would not be good at this point. Comic Trope says, love my intro. Well, thank you, man. It was a blast to do it, so I really enjoyed it. Trilby Dogtooth for Prime Minister, says Comic Tropes. That would definitely be an improvement, not to get too political. No matter who was in power, it'd be an improvement. Why not have a monster killer in power? That'd be great. FBI says, John Wick needs your help trapped in a storm, being quickly, all you do is enter your zip code. Thanks, FBI. I'll get right on that. Agsma says, me and Lloyd Kaufman spent a night in a hotel in the Bahamas once. We made lots of love that night. See, I was believing the story up until the lovemaking. I can believe that you hung out with Lloyd Kaufman. I'm sure you probably did. He's a very active guy, at least, you know, before being active and sort of traveling around became a lot harder recently. I know that he went to tons of conventions and screenings and all that kind of thing. Hey, Immortal Demon, good to see you again. Hey, Ubis. Ubis says, did you do the art for Guru Larry's channel? I always thought it was familiar. No, I didn't do that, Ubis. I think that's done by Phil Murphy, who's a comic book artist. And I know what you mean. There's some kind of overlap there in our styles, but no, I didn't do that for Guru Larry. Okay. Okie doke. So this is going to be James here grabbing the cord. I don't know if I like the open mouth. I think it might be funnier. How does he end it? Yeah, okay. I'm going to keep the mouth open for now because it closes again at the end. So oh, I've done a cool thing here. I've colored everything on the same layer, which means that the gray is all on the same layer, which I don't want. I thought I was working on a different layer. I've been using this software for years, guys, and I still make these kind of stupid mistakes. So I'm just going to try and get rid of some of this so we can have a cleaner image to look at. We don't want all of our construction lines getting in the way and clogging things up. That's no fun. Let's get rid of... oh, no, come on. Alright, well, that's a bit better anyway. I was hoping a few more of these parts would be connected together. We could get rid of it all at once. Alrighty. Alright, so James comes in. So the timing obviously is way too fast right now. We're going to have to add in a lot more drawings to kind of get things to slow down. And we want that. It's still a fast action. It's a really fast intro with a lot happening very quickly. But, you know, having James kind of gracefully do that and not just look like a ninja is going to be better. I mean, he'll still look a little bit like a ninja. Because in terms of timing... dun, 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 da, 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 da. Yeah, see, already we're on to the next shot. We transition into Zoran ripping up the paper and kind of throwing it away. So we definitely want to do it pretty quickly, but not as quickly as is happening at the moment. So it comes down. Okie dokie. Well, what I'm going to do here is a little bit of a cheat. I'm actually going to copy and paste this head because it's pretty good. It's pretty much the head that I'm looking for. I may change the hat, but hey, Disney animators do it. I think I mentioned this on a previous stream, but I spoke to an animator that worked on lots of classic 90s Disney movies, Raul Aguirre Jr., and Raul told me that they had a name for it, place and trace, where if they drew a good head or a good torso or whatever it was that needed, you know, reusing later on, and it was no point in redrawing it. Even Disney would just trace a head that they'd already drawn and go, that's fine, throw that in there. So in animation, you've got to draw a lot of images over and over again, so occasionally it makes sense just to do a little bit of cheeky reuse. But I don't like the kind of neck area. Oh, hang on, I don't like the neck area there. I want to redraw that because it's all messy and stuff. You know, maybe the cigar is not... oh, the cigar's in his mouth! Damn! Oh, there's me the whole time saying we threw the cigar away, and I was trying to figure out why we threw the cigar away. Because the cigar's here in his hand. See, this is the thing, guys. I do the key parts of the animation, and I just assume I'll figure it out later. I go, oh yeah. James will go from this point to this point, and I'll figure it out. Okay, the cigar is in his hand, and then the cigar is in his mouth, but I had forgotten to put it in the mouth. I had assumed he'd have thrown it away, because I just saw the empty hand here and thought, oh, that means there's no cigar. Okay, so I think I think maybe the cigar could go in the mouth at this point. Like that. So he's kind of like, nyah, nyah. Or either the cigar goes in the mouth. I know this looks bad, the drawing, but either the cigar goes in the mouth at this point. Yeah, no, I like that. Okay, I gotta draw that a lot better, but... So the drawing's stinky, but the idea I think works. Have the... Because we've got the big open mouth there. Okay, the hand is not quite in the right position, but I think you get the idea. James is lifting up the cigar. Maybe the arm could be more sort of this way. Not sort of bowed downwards, but bowed upwards. Ah! And then chomp, like as he's coming down... As James is coming down, as business James with his big business cigar and his monocle, which is definitely what business guys wear in 2021. Or if they don't, they should bring it back, because it helps you know what someone's career is. If they've got a monocle and a big cigar, you know that guy's making money. Unfortunately, a lot of rich people now just dress like everyone else, and you can't tell. See, you need a visual cue if possible. Hey, Jonathan Stewart. Jonathan Stewart says, hey, Harry, are you still happy? I'm very happy, thank you. I got a lot of reasons to be happy. I'm doing good. Comic Trope says, Harry, what channels have you discovered over the last year? I'll say a good channel that I've been listening to a lot lately is called Jerk Comic. All one word, Jerk Comic. He does interviews and analysis of comic books. Dead Meat. Great YouTube channel. If you like horror movies and you want to see some people from horror movies die in interesting ways, check out Dead Meat. Low Carb Comedy is a fun channel run by Zoran, who's in the chat with us today as well. There's a couple for you. Low Carb Comedy, Jerk Comic, Dead Meat, and there's gonna be more. There's gonna be more, but right off the top of my head, I don't know. I don't think I can name any more. I was tempted to say Comic Tropes, but see, I didn't find Comic Tropes this year, so... Diaviete asks, favorite Thundercat? When I was a kid, I liked the bad guys. I liked Mongor and... is it Birdman? I don't know. Vulture Man, yeah! A big fan of Mongor and Vulture Man. I had those toys as a kid. I have vivid memories of playing with Mongor and Vulture Man a lot. So, yeah, I never had Jackal Man. I didn't have Slithe. But I had Mum-Ra, Mongor, Vulture Man. The boys... and Marmot, eventually. I got the articulated Marmot. Alright, so we're going to have the hand. James's hand here. Do this kind of thing. And the big cigar in the mouth and the teeth. Like that, and then the legs are going to be bowed here because he's sort of crouching down. One hand like that. So at this point, the display is being pulled right down like that, and then it will roll back to its final position. So it's going to be that kind of thing where it gets pulled really far down, overshoots again. The mustache, we cannot forget about the mustache. That needs to be working overtime, you know, curling up and curling down. Ah, see? So it's that kind of thing, okay? I think you understand. I did it again, I was drawing in the wrong layer. Let's just all copy and paste it into the same image. We'll deal with it later. There you go. Like that. So that's, but it's going to be more like going down. It's more like this sort of speed. like that. However, obviously that isn't finished animation by any stretch of the imagination. We want to make it smooth and glorious and silky and fluid and all those good adjectives. So I will maybe flesh some of those out. But what I want to do is maybe take a look at Zoran and what his character is doing, because he's kind of the other half of this shot. I would say at this point, when the display gets pulled down, the focus is going to kind of be in the middle of the shot, because you want to see what they're looking at and what's been revealed. But we can't neglect Zoran. So I'm going to have him get pulled down there with James, and then go, let me see, where's his animation starting? Here? Okay. Like that. Oh yeah, I just got my little reference drawing there, because when I actually have to animate the display coming down, I thought I'd reuse this drawing and clean it up and color it. Just didn't want to delete it, so let me just put that aside, forget about that. So this is what we've got so far, like that. Okay, which works so far. So Zoran here is going to be getting pulled down and then comes up again over at this side of the screen. So what I'm going to try and do is have Zoran kind of come up in an interesting way. It's tough, right? Because in animation, I think you tend to want to show characters' faces, but if we had Zoran actually turned to look at the screen behind him, we really wouldn't get to look at him. We wouldn't really get, his reaction. He'd be seen in profile at best, or slightly from behind. So I'm going to keep it with seeing most of his face. I like that symmetry with James over here on this side of the screen. But we're still going to make it look like he's reacting to what he's seeing. Magpie sent another super chat. Magpie says, can't wait to see you animate Queen Bee on my show. Oh, Magpie! I'm sorry. Didn't realize who I was talking to here. Everyone, Magpie is... going through it in my brain. Magpie v Raven, excellent animator. Check out Magpie v Raven on Twitter. She has an animated original show, Mayhem, which she created. Sorry, I didn't realize it was you, Magpie. When you said Queen Bee, I was like, oh yeah. No, I did agree to do some animation on Mayhem. I think some point later in the year. Hopefully later in the year, because I've got so much work. It's piling up, man. It's crazy. All right. Sid Sugar Skull says, hi Harry, sorry I'm late. You're not late. You arrived exactly when you mean to. Bill Baggins is a burglar. Alright, that's good. So what we're going to do is get Zoran to move his booty and arrive at the right place at the right time. Exactly when he means to. So he gets pulled down by James. And then I'm thinking as James lets him go. So what I thought might be interesting is as James rises up to pull down. So let's just briefly put this kind of. Let's just do something with this. So this thing is going to kind of be in the way the whole time, but we want to get an idea of what the animation is going to look like for it. So, like that. Okay. So as James goes up here to grab the cord on the display, rather than have Zoran mirror him completely and go up as well and sort of overshoot his final position, I think it might be better that Zoran actually sort of is slow to recover here, and as he gets pulled down, let's just flesh this out a little bit actually. Let's just have Zoran get a little bit more detail on him. So we want him to do this kind of thing. He's a handsome guy. We've had to make him look sillier because he is a real person. He's in the chat right now, Low Carb Comedy, who's commissioned this intro along with Dead Meat, and he's based on a real person. These are both real people. This is James of Dead Meat, and Zoran of Low Carb Comedy also works with Dead Meat, and we've cartoonized them a bit, made them a bit sillier looking than they are in reality, but I'm sure they'll forgive me. Hopefully. Hopefully they'll forgive me. So Zoran's going to get all scrunched up here and look silly. And then... and then this will help me with the next part of the action. So he's getting all pulled down there. Let's just copy him and put him into this rough drawing here. I just don't want to be working with a really, really rough because we want to get a sense of what's going on. Alright, so I think I am actually gonna animate Zoran overshooting, but we'll delay his overshoot so it sort of offsets James. So as James goes down after pulling the cord down, then I think this will be Zoran's time to pop up. So I'm thinking that what we'll do is we'll take a look at Zoran's frame here, and let's just zoom in a little bit and see if we can get something that kind of is close to this, but a little bit more dazzled, like he's really happy with what he's seeing, or at least he's curious about it. Where is that? Where is this frame? Okay, so gonna have the eyes kind of, yeah, he's kind of looking shocked here. There you go. And maybe the arm is back here. Ah, yeah, there we go. So I think his reaction needs to be more kind of aimed at, there you go, the thing he's looking at. So this is a very rough drawing, but it's going to help us sort of start to lay down the animation once we get an idea of just the general positions that the characters are going to be taking. Hey, some names I can't quite say. I know Mage Burger. Hey, Jan Duval. Thanks for coming by, dude. Mr. Matamation is here still. Ajinka Nawade. And Sicey Cock the Soldier, Sizzy Cock, I'm sorry, I'm probably not saying that right. Man, I hope to get back to animating some sprites. Yeah, you should do that. Animating's, it's not really fun, but it can be very rewarding, I think. Alright, yeah, Magpie's fantastic. I'm glad people are saying nice things about Magpie and checking out her work. Wish I could make loose sketches like that. I always feel the need to over-detail my keyframes. Oh, that's alright. It's tough. It's tough. Sometimes you want things to look pretty as much as possible, as fast as possible. Hey, Brian OB, appreciate you coming by and throwing support. Very, very good, man. Thank you. I don't want Zoran's chest to be more puffed out here. I think a lot of the time in animation, it's fun to have kind of so to get inversions of things. So if you have a character who's, you know, like looking like this with their chest this way, the next position they should be in, you know, it could be anything you want, but then to sort of have them inverted and then to have their chest like this way, they can still look sad, they could still be all, you know, boo-hoo, why me? But that inversion of kind of the line of action that creates their shape by having them go one way and then go one way in the opposite direction is I think visually a nice thing. It's sort of, I don't know, it's just nice to look at things go from one shape to another in animation. And that's what we're going to try and do here with Zoran. So I'm going to have him overshoot his final position by actually having his chest stick out. Maybe a little bit too much, but we'll take a look later on. And then so we've got our Zoran here, which I'm going to copy and paste onto the layer above just so I can kind of onion skin it a little bit easier and keep track of where he's started and where he's going from. Hey, Brian, with the super chat. Or is that a sticker? I don't know. I'm not very good at YouTube. When they send, you know, an image, that's a sticker, right? Well, either way, Brian, I appreciate the super chat sticker big time. That's awesome, man. You didn't need to do that, but thank you for throwing some cash my way. Dr. Disappointment says, it's a pleasure to watch you animate. I'm a long-time fan of your work. Hope you're having a wonderful day. I'm having a pretty good day. Thank you, Dr. Disappointment. It's very generous of you. What do you think the hardest thing trying to animate for you is? For me, it's walks. Yeah, walks are actually the hardest thing, I think. A really good walk. Not so much in 2D left to right, but a character in three-dimensional space walking from, say, the back of a room to the front of a room, so that they're going from smaller to bigger or from bigger to smaller. I think that's really hard to do. That and animals. I'm not very good at, you know, a dog or horse walk cycle. Yeah. Spirit, that movie Spirit, the DreamWorks movie, that's really impressive to me, because that would be the last thing on planet Earth I'd want to animate, would be a horse running around all day. Just no. Just take that away, please, and bury it. Just bury it at sea. I don't want to be anywhere near that. Give me people moving up and down real quickly. Hey, Skapuki. Mage Burger says, I noticed the new characters like the Comforter or Trilby have more lean character designs. Is that a new generation of style? More lean? You mean thinner? I'm not really sure what you mean by that. If you just mean less detail, I don't know. Dogtooth's got a lot of detail on him. He's a nightmare to draw. He's covered in belts and buckles and straps and things. He's a bit S&M. Okay. Alright, so Reduce like that. So I'm gonna have Zoran here on the layer above. Dun, 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 dun. Excuse me, guys. Gotta sneeze. No, I'm not. Oh, it's that. It's just sitting there in the end of my nose. No. No, it never came. It never came. And Zoran's head, drag down here. Have his arm. He's not getting drawn as nicely as James was. I don't know if that's a grave insult, but he's just getting just running through a little quickly here. That way a little bit. I want to, okay, so another thing I want to do here is I want to sort of have, I think like Zoran at this point could go, I feel like we could do something where Zoran blinks sort of almost in disbelief, like, what is this? What is this? An idea for a show about me? Get out of town! And I want to kind of overshoot one more time. Gotta go careful though. This kind of thing. You know, where he's just overshooting the mark slightly. Like that. I need to see if timing wise if that works, because the shot is very short. Alright, so, and then his hand would be sort of out this way, as if he's not quite brought it into his mouth yet. Like that. I kind of like that, you know, where he's going down, and then the shoulder could be delaying here. Hand sort of finding kind of the shape of the hand, sort of have the fingers lift up there at the end. I sort of I kind of know what I'm going for here. So you'd have the shirt flap up there, and at this point the shirt would still be sort of following its shape back down, like this. So hopefully that would do the trick in terms of sort of rough timing for the two of them. I might have Zoran's eyes screwed up a little bit more there, like he's in thought, or sort of winding up for that final expression just a touch more. And I'm gonna hit save and see what y'all are saying in that chat. Gregor the Scot, my good buddy Gregor the Scot. Gregor says, wonder if kids these days know about a pull-down projector. Is that sort of thing totally gone? It probably is. It's probably like thinking... it's probably the same as a flintlock pistol at this point. It's probably so old-fashioned. I saw the other day on eBay an overhead projector, the kind of which we used to use at school in the mid-90s, on eBay for sale, and I almost bought it because I remember so strongly as a kid wanting to play with it. It's like, oh, I can project things onto the wall, you know, that's so fun, I want to play with it. And I thought, I don't need that. I don't need a mid-90s overhead projector for projecting hymn lyrics onto my ceiling. So I didn't buy it in the end. Lorenz Griffiths says, hello Harry, I watched the new Dogtooth cartoon a while back and it was incredible. Thank you buddy, appreciate it. Do you plan to make a part 2 anytime soon or not? Lorenz, I want to make part 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, 9, 11, 16B. I want to make them all, but it's just a matter of time and resources, you know. That cartoon took like a year to make, thousands of pounds, you know, paid to some assistants, some sound people, and you know, how do I get that support? How do I do that? You can check out my Patreon if you want, but you know, it's going to take more than the current level of support that I have to be able to do more of those in the time frame that I want. You know, I don't want to wait 20-30 years to have the next 2 or 3 episodes made. So don't worry, I'm looking at it, and if it has to be a comic book or it has to be live action, we'll do it in some way, because that's the story I want to tell. Thank you though, I really like that you enjoyed that. Thank you. Mage Burger says, I feel I'm old enough to have heard of a lot of old stuff but also too young to know how they actually are. Record players, MP3 players. Hey, you're too old? Hang on, no wait, you're too young for MP3 players? That makes me feel old. MP3 players are like, that's still futuristic. I remember tape cassette players, and you know, my parents used vinyl, you know, 8 tracks and stuff. I know vinyl's made a comeback, but you know, I'm talking about the first time around. FunCube says, get an army of animation slaves. If you point me to where they are, certainly not a moral issue at this point. I want to make stuff. Alright, so I'm going to take a look at this in kind of connection with the rest of the cartoon. Oh yeah, is it fast enough? Can I play just a little bit? Hang on, how long Come on. Yeah, I mean, I think that looks great. Obviously, it's very rough around the edges, but very rough around the edges, but it gets the job done. You guys want to see something different I was working on earlier today? Today I was doing a color guide for another shot in the cartoon. Yeah. There you go. So this has been provided to another animator because I was able to draw about the shot, I believe, is 8 frames of animation. It's a very, very short shot. It's extremely short. But I did 3 of those frames. No, wait. Yeah, I did 3 of those frames. I did, okay, we split it into 2 layers. So we'd have a body layer, which I did 2 frames on. So I'm asking for 6 new frames on the body. And then I did the arms and the gifts. The arm and the gifts is another layer. And I did 3 drawings on that. So I'm asking for basically 5.5 finished drawings. And we have, a color guide. So lots of colors going on. And they need to know that it looks like there's a solid black used there, but it's actually dark gray. The chevrons are a different color to the blood. The dried blood is like, the shadow of the blood is slightly different to the blood that's being hit by the light. So tons and tons of lights and colors and stuff going on there. But kind of a fun shot. Jason Voorhees, obviously, in his classic, what is that, part 3, part 4 attire. Hopefully I'm hitting the nail on the head there and not giving too much away. But yeah, that's a shot we were working on today. So it's kind of a fun one. And you can guess who he's presenting that to. His dearest mama, old Pamela Voorhees. Wikipedia says you're the son of Andy Partridge. If this isn't an error, okay, I have no idea what's real anymore. No, that's my dad. That's not an error. Magpie says Predator. That's Jason. Did I say it was Predator? Oh no, Mageburger says it's Predator. Wow, it's Scarlett Johansson. Yeah, there she is, looking fine. So yeah, I did a ton of those today. I can actually show you one more. I can show you one more, can't I? Can't I? Can't I? Here's the other one we did today. Get it? Get it? It's Mike Myers. It's Mike Myers in his famous attire. That's going to be a fun shot because it isn't just Wayne's World Mike Myers. We've got Mike Myers from many generations coming together as you've never seen him before. So yeah, I was looking at pictures of trying to figure out kind of a way of simplifying the guitar because I know the guitar has lots of detail on it. I mean, that's not the one I was looking at. I was looking at a slightly different one which had like a wooden stock and head. But yeah, I know there's so much detail on a guitar, but you don't want to draw all of the frets and all that stuff. And I know guitars have 6 strings, but I drew 5 because it's less work. You're always going to cheat it. So yeah, that was sent as well to, he may still be in the chat actually, Stalktoons, just to let him, take a crack at it. And I wanted him to keep track of all the colors and all, how the shadows fall and stuff, and to make sure that he knows what he's doing. And I'm sure he'll do a great job. Hey Jobin. Jobin says, why is Chris Raygun on the thumbnail? I'm late to the stream. That ain't Chris Raygun. That's Zoran, and he's still in the chat, maybe. Low Carb Comedy. And we're doing an intro for his for a new project that he's doing with the YouTube channel Dead Meat. And animating. And I should get off this screen, which is just such Stalktoons. Don't worry about getting them all done tonight, man. I know, don't worry. I've been pumping them out. Stalktoons is in the chat right now, and he's helping me. He's an assistant on this cartoon with me. So okay, let's get to a point that I'm happy with tonight. I think that what I want to do I think we want to maybe see if we can finish off. I don't know. I'm just thinking about. I'm thinking about what we do for the rest of tonight, because I could try and finish one character and make them a little bit more polished, not fully colored. It's just going to take too long, and like I say, I'm going to have an assistant help out with that. Or I could kind of leave it there and we could do some other goofy stuff. I'm not sure, because it's a big project. There's a lot that needs to be drawn. I'm not really sure where I should be leaving it tonight. I'll tell you what we'll do is I will do this. I will go over into Toon Boom, which is the other program that I use, and I will try my best to get Zoran, which is here, get Zoran roughed out, ready to be cleaned up by the assistant. Okay, so I'll try and add in all the frames from this point on, just this guy here, Zoran on the right, try and get him completely cleaned up, or at least tied down, ready to be animated by an assistant. And we just got a super chat from Stroganoff 101. Thank you very much, Stroganoff. Thank you for streaming and letting us into your world. I laughed so much when you were drawing the Scooby Gang, especially Daphne. Thank you, Stroganoff. I don't remember saying anything funny when I was drawing Daphne. Maybe it was just the drawing that was funny. But yeah, I do remember drawing the Scooby Gang on stream. That was really fun. All right, guys. What I'm going to do is I'm going to render out some of these frames so we have kind of a baseline to clean up from, and from that point I'll be back. So basically I'm going to take a 2-minute break, guys, just to get some stuff rendered out, and I'll be back in a moment. I will speak to you soon. Take care. Be back in 2 minutes. And we are back. I think that was a little bit longer than 2 minutes. Thank you very much for hanging on and waiting on me. So we've got here in Toon Boom Harmony, which is different software. We can get a much nicer brush. I'll tell you, that little gap there in the coloring's bothering me. Gonna have to fix that later on. But we've got rendered PNGs here of the artwork, so it's going to look a bit pixelated, but I'm going to trace over a couple of these images and clean them up and try and get it to the point where I feel a bit more comfortable with doing some more kind of in-betweens for the animation. So this image here is already pretty much tied down. That'll be quite easy to clean up. And I think what I'll do to begin with is instead try to get this guy to the point that I like his outline, and then we can kind of take the rest of the shot from that point. So I'll reduce the opacity of this layer, not that much, Yeah, there we go. That amount. And try and find a brush thickness that I think it was 6 or 7 I was working with. What we got here? 6. Yeah, that looks about right. Okie dokie. And we'll try and draw a nice clean image of Zoran. This is the point. It's going to get a little bit boring. Everyone, it's going to get a little bit dull because, you know, it's just animation cleanup. So it's a kind of tedious, long-winded thing, but very necessary to create this intro for the Dead Meat crew. And hopefully the results will pay off and it will look fantastic. So we'll see about that. But yeah, John Mundinger. I hope I'm saying that correctly, John. Thank you for coming by. And Paid Cookie the First says hello there. Hey, Paid Cookie. All right. Hi, Tyler, as well. And Lopus. All right. So I got that ear like that. So this is really just, I'm going to try to do my best at bringing my drawing ability to the fray here. And even though I've kind of already got my characters fairly tied down in this frame, it's actually not too bad for me. I don't like giving too much work to the assistants. They already have enough work to do, and I like to be able to go in and kind of give them shots that don't look like I'm asking the world of them. So little things like, I want a little crease there on the forehead, I'll put that in the shot. I want to I'll put that in there, and you'll see when we kind of turn off the layer below, this will look a lot nicer in terms of getting the shot to work. My phone's blown up a sec. Let me just take care of that. Oh, what? It's just something. Based on your last call, how likely are you to recommend? Yeah. I thought, you know, it was something I needed to worry about. Okay. So we're going to get this looking nice and cleaned up. I would like you guys in the chat to tell me about what you're eating today. Anybody have any fun or interesting foods you're going to eat today? Actually, it doesn't even need to be fun or interesting. I'm on a diet right now. Your boy's on a diet, once again, trying to lose weight. And it's getting to me. I'm actually doing pretty good on it. I really don't think I'm doing too badly. But I would appreciate anybody who wants to tell me about all the fun food they're having so I can enjoy not having it. So the collar there is going to be flapping down. Beanlight, hey Beanlight. Good to see you. Beanlight Games says, I ate a breakfast burrito. Love a breakfast burrito. We don't really have those in Britain very much. The whole burrito Mexican food thing didn't really take off over here. You know, we don't share a border with Mexico, but I do love Mexican food. That's one thing that I really like to have when I'm in America. Haven't been there in a while. Not been to America since the beginning of 2020, so I really hope I can go back. Epic Gnome 23 with the chicken nuggets. Love a chicken nugget. I love a chicken nugget. Who likes chicken nuggets and mayonnaise? Is that just me? Crispy fry, a French fry and mayonnaise, but beautiful. When it's crunchy, when it's got that snap to it. Fun Cube says, I made salad with the herbs from my garden. Fun Cubes, are you a hobbit? That's amazing. I mean, I've seen pictures of you. You look like a fit guy. I believe it. I believe you're eating homegrown herbs. Making chili con carne, says Joseph Crofts. Terranium says, wieners. I ate wieners because I don't want to go to the store. I like a wiener. Don't take that out of context. Marathon Eternal says, I just had some pulled pork and barbecue sauce. Yes! You guys, this is great. The menu you're presenting me is excellent. It's going too fast. Sam Modnar says, I'm eating on orange right now. Yeah. I could leave an orange. Sid, oh man, it's going too fast. It's going too fast, guys. Geez, Jacob Carmine, I was having a pot noodle today. And I got a bit of plastic got into it. No, my friend, that's just part of the pot noodle. That's what you paid for. I don't get me wrong. I'm not being classist. I like pot noodles up there with probably more than most people do. I quite enjoy a pot noodle, especially the basic chicken and mushroom flavor. But they're not, they're not good for us. We maybe as human beings want to limit our pot noodle intake. I'm not trying to give you any grief. I'm just saying that for my benefit as much as yours. Fish pie, space in a space, it says fish pie. Yeah, I don't know, fish pie. I'm not sure about that. Not sure about fish pie. I mean, I don't mind fish. I had salmon today for a snack. It was very good, some smoked salmon. I kind of like keeping my fish. I don't know, fried fish I don't mind. That's good, but generally I like keeping my fish kind of unbothered by pie. More into the chicken pie if I'm gonna have a pie. So I got the legs kind of pulling backwards here. So I'm not sure if I got any feedback about the mayonnaise and nuggets. Are we doing the mayonnaise and nuggets? Because trust me, it works. It really works. I got into mayonnaise about a year ago, having that instead of ketchup. It's not healthier, I don't think, but that's not the reason that I'm eating it. It's just really, really nice. Really, really do like mayonnaise with my nuggets. Skipuki says, I'm a fan of sweet potato pancakes for breakfast. Never had that. I had some sweet potato tortilla chips the other day. They were nice. Funcube says, I also had sketty with an insane amount of fat. That sounds like the honey boo-boo diet. Sketty and fat. Heinz Muller says, just had a tomato salad. That's healthy, Heinz Muller. Are you getting some salad debt paid off there? Some healthy food debt so you can go and enjoy yourself later on. Actually, a tomato salad can be really nice with sort of a vinaigrette type sauce. That's the thing about food, it brings people together. Scotty and butter. Mayo is my favorite too. Yeah, Lawrence Griffiths. Mayonnaise with your fried food. Really an excellent combination. Jan Duval says no to the mayonnaise. Sorry, Jan. I'm pulling my giant lever that's going to send you hurtling through a hole in the ground. No, not really. I like you, Jan Duval. Jan Duval's a friend of the channel. He's a supporter and he's over on the Discord. Americans don't use mayo for dipping sauce, says Skipuki. I think they're missing out. I think they would enjoy it. I think they'd really enjoy it. As do I. Mr. Matamation says, what's Honey Boo Boo up to these days? That's true. I've heard a little bit more about Mama June. Didn't Mama June have a glow up? Didn't Mama June get hot? I think that's the last I heard about Mama June. Never really into Honey Boo Boo, gotta say. The only exposure I really had to Honey Boo Boo is the South Park parody. Scotty and butter. Morphe says homemade cheeseburger with fries. Sorry man, mayo rocks. Oh, it does. Who are you saying sorry to? Maybe Jan earlier. No, the mayo with the fries is excellent. A homemade cheeseburger sounds good. Now, when you say homemade, do you mean that you bought, a patty and a bun, or did you make the patty? Did you actually put it together from mincemeat and onion and that kind of thing? Because that's nice. Big appreciate homemade patty. Yeah, there we go. See? collar all flipping out there. See, this is the point where people drop off because it gets really boring when you're doing cleanup. But I think the hand would be doing something like that. Something like... feel like even talking about Honey Boo Boo dates you these days. It's better than Honey Boo Boo dating you. She's probably old enough to do that these days. Kane Marsh says, been a while since I joined one of your streams. Just want to say I really enjoy your work. New Dr. Bees rocks. Thank you, Kane. I really appreciate it, dude. Joachim, am I saying that correctly? Joachim Engstrom says, emptying out my fridge as I'm currently moving out. So my dinner was sushi, ginger, and oatmeal. Yeah, I like my fridge has a ton of old sushi ginger in it. Basically, things that come with other things, like ketchup that they give you when you order a takeaway because they think you might not have your own ketchup. So we've got all these little ketchup packets in the fridge, and the sushi ginger, and the little fish that come with the soy sauce. Yeah, we've got a bunch of those hanging around, I'm sure. Patty from scratch, says Morphe. That's what I like to hear. Animated Taco, my good buddy Animated Taco, great artist. Scott, Animated Taco, says, I like mayo on a cheap hot dog sometimes. It's not weird. You know, my introduction to hot dog toppings was when I went to New York, when I was a nipper of only 7 years old. I had my 8th birthday in New York. And we went to a little beach area called Fire Island. I think it's like a little island outside the coast of New York. I think it's still the state of New York. But I found later on, in years later, that it was like a gay hotspot. But I wasn't getting up to anything gay as a 7-year-old. I was just enjoying buying comic books and pogs because it was the mid-90s and I was in America and I was going to do all that stuff. I actually have a ton of funny stories about that vacation. I just got up to so much weird stuff. We were there for like 2 weeks and there was nothing to do. So I made a little business where I'd draw caricatures. I'd set up like a little stall on the beach and I just draw caricatures for people, and I charged 50 cents and they always gave me a couple of dollars tip. I guess I didn't realize that 50 cents wasn't very much money, so I felt like a rich mofo that I could take all this money at the end of the day and go and buy candy and pogs and things and 90s Marvel comic books. Anyway, I'm getting off track here big time, but the thing that I was introduced to was hot dogs. And I remember buying a hot dog every day with my money that I'd made and getting it sounds like a story from the 1950s. Like, I would take my pennies that I'd earned and I'd buy myself a wiener. I also picked up bottles and took the bottles to the store and got some money. But yeah, I have a lot of funny stories about my little life briefly as an American boy, stranded in this weird little island off the coast of New York. But yeah, I went and got some hot dogs every day, and I used to get them with ketchup. I don't even think I got them with mustard because I was, scared of anything, scared of flavor. I just get them with ketchup. And one day, I don't remember if they asked me if I wanted relish, but they just said, or they just gave me relish. And I was like, oh no, I don't want this. What is this green stuff that's on top of the hot dog? Never had relish before. And I ate it anyway, because I was a greedy little kid and I'm a greedy little man. And I ate this relish on the hot dog, and it was all green and vinegary, and it was so delicious. Now I have had relish since that was probably better, but when you've never had it before and it's new and you think it's going to be gross, that's the magic thing. That's the magic thing, when you think it's going to be terrible and it's not, and it's really zingy and it just sets off the meat and the bread. Oh yeah, boy. So yeah, I have many stories about that little vacation. I did some of the worst things I've ever done. I've talked about this before, but because people would leave their doors open on the island because there was no crime. I changed that. I went knocking for a friend of mine one day and he wasn't in, and his whole family had left their little beach house open. So I just sort of walked in there and ate a load of their food. I just took a load of Pop-Tarts from the cupboards and a couple of like chocolate bars and stuff, and I just pretty much walked out and Didn't really bother me. It bothers me now because it's essentially breaking and entering. I burgled a house when I was 7 years old for food, but you know, I thought, hey, if you're just gonna leave your door open, I'll take all your sweet food. And I just went and sat on my porch. I'm so glad I didn't get caught. Can you imagine you're in someone else's house and they walk in and you're a little fat boy with his pocket filled with Pop-Tarts and Pogs and they find you eating? I didn't eat the food in the house. I took it away and ate it somewhere else. But yeah, it's basically criminal activity. Animated Taco says, have you had a good chili and slaw dog in the South? No, I've never been to the South, ever. The closest I've gotten is, well, I mean, I've been to Georgia a couple times. Does Georgia count? I guess I've been to Florida. I mean, I guess those are southern states, but... Chaos Harry. Yeah, I mean, this is evil, unlawful alignment Harry eating Pop-Tarts. Have you ever tried making your own mayo from egg yolks, Harry? No, Joyce has. My partner Joyce makes a lot of food very much from scratch, and she's made her own mayonnaise. Honestly, I prefer it when we buy it. I just prefer it when it comes from a store. But other than that, it's great. And what was the question there about burnout from Mirko? Merkel says, Harry, have you ever had an experience where you just couldn't animate and you were burned out? No, I don't think I have. I think if I do, it lasts for about 10 minutes. Or maybe it might last for a whole evening. Tops maybe a day or two. But this is my job, and if I don't do it, I don't make any money, and I've got people depending on me, and I gotta pay bills, and it's not like that for everyone, but for me, you know, I gotta make the money. If I don't make the money, then we ain't gonna eat. So there's a pressure there. It's good pressure to have, and I'm not complaining, but yeah. Okay, this is a really rough frame here that I hope we can do justice to, because we gotta kind of find those shapes. Mr. Matamation says, halfway down, I've always considered Northern Virginia to be the South. We're not politically Southern, but people who live here are pretty Southern. Yeah, I guess that makes sense in what I know about Virginia. Jamie Peddle says, hey Harry, I was wondering what your thoughts were on rigged animation in Toon Boom. Would you ever consider it over frame by frame? I don't think I'd want to do it, but I mean, I would consider other people doing it. Let's say, you know, if I one day sold an idea for a TV show, which is not likely to happen, but they said we have to use rigged animation, it's a time-saving, cost-saving measure, I'd be okay with that, you know? If the stories are good, if the content is good, I think rigged animation's only going to get better and better as well. Rigged animation from 15 years ago and rigged animation from today is pretty different. I mean, something like The Lion Guard, you know, that's not frame by frame, and it looks pretty good. I don't think it looks as good as the Lion King movie, or even the Timon and Pumbaa TV show from the mid-90s, but it looks pretty good. Rob Tibbett says, a pleasant surprise, good to see you still going after all this time. I mean, thank you, Rob. I've never stopped. I mean, I release an animation, you know, hopefully 2 a year. I put out, you know, a big 7-minute one last year. No, 6 minutes last year, and just released a 7-minute one a couple days ago. So I'm still making stuff. I am never going to stop. This is it's my job, like I was saying a minute ago, but it's also my love. I love making comedy and stories. What I'm doing today, which is an animation for hire, essentially, is for pay. But I still am going to share some of the process with you all today, so you can sort of get a look at what I'm doing. And I'm not going to be on this for too long, because our deadline is on Saturday, I think. We have to get this thing done, and then once we're done, we're going to well, I'm going to be moving on to other things. Other things, which I guess I should talk about, because I haven't really discussed what's happening yet. I don't think this is a secret. So I've accepted about 23 commissions that I have to do, which are illustrations. I'm not accepting any more. Okay, I've accepted way too many. Well, I think I was trying to keep it at 20 and it went over, but I don't want to do any more than that. So I'm going to do those this month, which will probably take me until the 20th, perhaps. This little animation that we're doing today, and the commissions will probably take me to the 20th. After the 20th, I don't know if you guys care about any of this, but it sort of seems relevant. After the 20th, I'm going to take a couple of days to finish a script, because I'm writing a feature-length script, which is so nearly done, but I need to give it the love and time it deserves, because it's so done, but it's so near done, I should say. So that's going to take a couple of days. And then finally, at the end of this month, this is the thing I don't want to complain about, but I think people think that I just go away and don't animate for a couple of years, and I'm always doing stuff, but a lot of the time it's either work for hire like this, which you may not see the end result of, or they're commissions, which you don't get to see because they're done for individual people, or I'm prepping and trying to get other things off the ground, like in this case writing a screenplay that I hope can get turned into a feature-length movie. When that's done, the screenplay, which I'm aiming for the 25th, I will be starting another animation, and not starting it from scratch because a lot of it has already been done, but it will be the next Starbarians. So by the end of the month, I will be in production properly on Starbarians episode 4, and I do not know when that is going to get finished. I don't have a good track record with predicting how long things are going to take me and then actually making good on that. It just doesn't work out like that for me. I've been animating since I was 15 years old, but you tell me how long something's going to take me to make, and I'm usually wrong on predicting it. I usually overshoot, my deadlines by a good margin, but I really want to put it out this year. I want to put it out in the summer. It's my birthday in mid-August. I'd really like to put it out by then. I'd feel pretty happy about where I am in the world if I could get it out by then. So I would really like to finish the next Starbarians by mid-August. I don't think that's super likely, but it depends. It depends. If we can get some more help, maybe more support on the Patreon, it becomes a lot, it becomes a lot more viable and possible. So all right, I'm done talking about myself now. Thank you for listening. Okay, Terranium says the Starbarians one from years ago? I don't know what you I'm not sure what you mean. It's episode 4, so yeah, it's something I did start a while ago. Yeah, Horsat, it's not 90% done. That may have been me exaggerating. I don't think I said 90% done. A lot of it is done. Like, I did basically make the beginning and ending of that story first, and then screw myself over because I had to do the middle, and I hadn't accounted for that. So there's a lot of stuff done for episode 4, but I also keep adding scenes to it. I've added entire new scenes and characters that things and what they're originally. So if I said, a while ago that it was mostly done, that's not necessarily totally accurate anymore. get that mouth opened up wide. Alrighty, I'm going to wrap up soon, folks, because we're closing in on the hour and a half, and I didn't want to go over 2 hours, but we're going to try and get this nicely kind of prepped, at least almost prepped for an assistant to take over. I'll do my best on that. Mirko says, I mean, we can understand your animations are pretty sick. Not only is it free, but you're also making it all... Well, thank you, dude. Tamagotchi says, I think he means the stuff you made back when you thought Starbarians 3 was going to be longer before you decided to cut it short. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, there are scenes like, you may have seen me animating on live stream, like back in 2018, a scene at the Star Bay where they drop off the girl, the slave girl, and Hogstrong says goodbye to her. Like, that'll be in episode 4 now. Terranium says, no, I distinctly remember you talking about a one-off Starbarians movie script years ago. I remember a prison break for some reason. Oh, you're talking about a point-and-click game that I was planning, where you play Kilgar having to go and get Hogstrong out of a prison, and because they think Hogstrong is Kilgar, they've put him in an unbreakable prison that is supposed to hold, that can hold anyone. And yeah, it was an idea for a point-and-click game, which would still be cool to make. It would still be cool to make, but not an idea for a movie. Hey, Mirko, you're very welcome, man. Thank you for coming by. Appreciate it. Kostas Nicoladis says you need to do the Monster Hunter series. I could go on for days. Yeah, I want to do more Trilby Dogtooth. I really do. Trust me. And in fact, I think your name looks Greek. Is it Greek? I could be wrong, actually. It could be Russian or something else. I was going to say, a couple of years ago, we did try filming an episode of Dogtooth in live action, and the monster that he fought had a Greek name. The Phonius Phony, which was supposed to be the voice killer in Greek, but it never got finished, unfortunately. I would still, I'd still like to do something in live action one day, but it's not going to be that particular idea. Okay. Storktoon says, is Yap or someone else helping on this shot besides me? Oh, so Storktoons, let's take a quick look at actually what we were working on today. So this is a shot that I used my assistant Yap to help with, which is so basically I did what I'm doing now, which is a lot of the rough frames and a couple of the cleaned colored frames, and this is all stuff that my intern Yap finished off and colored, and he did a great job there. And so this end action here, I'm actually going to split the two characters apart. So we're going to have James, who's on the left, animate as one file, and I'll send that to Yap, and then Zoran on the other side split into another file, and I'll probably send that to Yap too, because then that would be Yap doing everything in this shot, clean up and color wise, and I might do the poster getting pulled down. That will be my contribution. No, I mean, I did a lot of contribution. I'm doing all the rough art and a load of the cleaned up frames too. But yeah, and then we'd have another Yap shot where it's going to transition so that he's ripping up the image as a piece of paper and throwing it away like that. So that was another one that Yap colored and in betweened. And then we move on to a shot that Storktoons is helping on, which is still a very rough... Yeah, this is my crappy rough version before I cleaned it up and helped put any frames together. But we've got him about to shoot himself with a crossbow here. So that's a shot that Storktoons is working on. But this previous stuff was all Yap work, and Yap did a good job. Yap kicks ass. He hit it with a Yap attack. Ariane Ikusa says, oh my god, Harry, I've been following you since I was 13. You must be tired. I'm 23 now, thanks for making me feel old. Good to see you're still working on stuff. I'm pissed off about how it screwed up animators during the mid-2010s. No, don't say that, Ariane, because there are some people right now on YouTube who are killing it. Look at what Vivzy Pop is doing with online independent animation. She is murdering the algorithm. She's destroying it, so it can still be done. We just gotta not be whiny babies about it and get back to work. BB Sheps says, I love your animations, Harry. New Dr. Beast was brilliant. Appreciate it, BB Sheps. Thank you. Mongo says, hey. I say hey back to Mongo. Animated Taco says, everyone, that means Harry has a dogtooth costume. Dude, I got 2. Don't even joke. Space in a Space says Starbarians 3. That slave girl flying through space was perfect. Appreciate it, dude. Thank you. Kostas Nikolades says, yes, I'm Greek. Well, Galamera to you. Man, is 26 now. I've been watching you for a decade. Well, yeah, no, dude. It's good to meet you, man. Actually, it's the nighttime now in Greece. You guys are 2 hours ahead of us, so I don't know what good night is in good evening in Greek. Yeah. All right. Hey, Donny Arts says, I hope those animators would also come to Odyssey. Yeah, I mean, honestly, all the alt tech platforms, Newgrounds, I still think is the best alt tech, if you would call it alt tech, because it predates YouTube. But that's still, I think, a great place for animation. So before I go and ever put anything on, BitChute or Odyssey or whatever, I'll be putting it on Newgrounds and YouTube. But it'd be interesting to see if any of those other platforms really start to take off in the next couple of years. I'm still kind of out of the loop on that. I watched the 3rd Scorpion King movie today. Bad Davi88. You made a bad decision there. I've only seen the first one, the one with The Rock in it. I know he's not in the sequels. I like the first one. First one's dope. Storktoon says, been watching since 2010 or 2011. Your eyes have to be tired. Alright, folks. Let me get back to work here. I'm being naughty and I'm chatting. Having a big old chat. Let me do some effing work. Alright, so Zoran. This is going to be our first position. He comes up. Boo. Like a diss. Do you ever watch the fast food toy reviews channel on YouTube? The guy, he has all these little sayings and things, and he loves saying, like a diss, like a diss. He puts on a weird accent just for that one phrase. And you turn on the Ronald McDonald wind-up car, like a diss. And for some reason it rubbed off on me because I guess I've watched too many fast food toy reviews videos, even though I'm a grown man. Like it is. Okie doke. Alright, so I'm gonna check out a tweet that I should retweet, actually. I should retweet that. Sorry guys, I got a plug from the Dead Meat channel. Dead Meat, I just want to quickly, if you have joined us recently and you don't know what the heck I'm doing, I'm working on an animated intro for the YouTube channel known as Dead Meat, who are a horror movie review and analysis channel. It's a lot of fun if you're into horror movies, if you like seeing, brains get squished or whatever, heads get cut off. They do a cool series called Kill Count, and they're doing a new series, and I'm doing some animation for that series, which I don't want to talk about too much because they've not made me sign NDAs or anything like that. They've not been stiff on that kind of thing, but I don't want to give up the ghost on a project that isn't mine to birth to the world. And it's cool though. I appreciate that they're letting me live stream, and they are. I asked. I said, guys, is it okay if I do live stream for this stuff and tell people about it? And they weren't, uncool about it. They were just like, yeah, yeah, go ahead. So that's really nice. Really don't have any horror stories of ever working with anybody. Everyone that I've worked with has been nice. Maybe I've been the pain in the butt, but these guys have been extra cool. Extra cool. Alrighty, so he flips up like that. And like something like that. It goes so fast. Why did I even play it back? It's not even worth watching. Whoosh, like that. Okay. Yoosh. Okay. Alrighty. So. And so his hand has sort of gone like, it's gone back, and then it's doing this kind of thing. So I want to make sure that that hand is following an arc. In animation, it's important that you have things move in arcs if you want them to look nice. So for example, instead of having a ball, if it's, you know, traveling through the air or whatever, you don't want to have it scatter around like that, because that doesn't really, it's sort of an arc, but there's no easing in or easing out. You want things to kind of do this sort of thing where you can actually draw just in general like a kind of a plan, a graph almost of where it goes. And we're not getting that here with the hand. The hand is sort of sticking out a little bit too much like that. So it might make a little bit more sense if we have Zoran's hand here kind of maybe get a little bit bigger. I'm getting finicky now with my in-between. See, this is the sort of stuff in motion. You don't really need to worry about it a whole lot. You can just get on with it, but hard not to try and get things to look just right. I know this is a worse drawing, but I think in terms of what the arc is doing there, it looks a little better. And now, ooh, if his arm is oh, I don't really know what the hand is doing here. The right hand doesn't know what the other right hand is doing. I think we want the arm to be up there. I want the kind of rolled up sleeve to be dragging behind, and I've got to change the other arm that we drew earlier, because it's not looking very good. And while I'm doing that and struggling with this like a complete noob animator, I'm just getting rid of it. All right, while I'm struggling with this, I can read some chat stuff and see what you're all saying. Animated Taco says, what's your favorite fast food toy? Mine are the McDonald's changeables. Yeah, I remember those when I was a kid. I liked the McNugget buddies. The little McNugget people you could put clothes on. They were cool. Spooky says, I wish I could say I've worked for nice people, lol. Oh, well, sorry to hear that. Magma Muncher says, hey Harry, did I miss the stream? Yeah, you kind of did, Magma Muncher. We're going to be wrapping up probably in about 15 minutes time, but I'll try and end strong. I'll try and end in a way that we didn't for the rest of the stream. It was probably a pretty boring one, I'm sorry to say. This is me blathering around and struggling with drawing arms and things. I love how every time I draw this damn arm it gets worse. The important thing is that we're here for Andy when he needs us. No, the important thing is that in motion it'll look acceptable, and that the assistant feels pressure to fix it, and I don't have to worry about that because that's on them. We'll give it to the assistant to fix. All right. Okay, let's get a nice big chunky brush. Scrub out some of those construction lines. Yep, that arm needs to go too. There you go. There you go. That's a bit more like it. And we'll have the arm kind of drag down there. I just don't like this hand very much. I feel like it could look a little bit more, I don't know, a little bit more exasperated, a little bit more surprised. Nope, that looks freakish. Gosh, my gosh, what, go jolly, golly gee whiz. That's the kind of thing I'm going for. I am Junker. Says, man, I remember seeing that first Skyrim video and it blew me away at the time. Basic flash animation was so dominant. I struggled reading that. That wasn't your spelling. It was me getting tripped up there. My eyes are getting tired. Ariane says, I also want to say you inspired me to do art. Well, more Lamau. Well, thank you, Ariane. Appreciate that. Yeah, I think you should keep up with the art. It's a wonderful thing. W88 says it looks fine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's probably gonna be all right. Hunger Games 451. How long have I been animating for? You mean today? 2 hours? But no, I worked actually all day animating. I started animating when I was 15 years old. Axolotl is the best. Says. Oh, whoa, and sends a super chat. I don't know how to say that. OWO. Is that some kind of meme? I think it is. Oh, whoa. But thank you very much for the super chat. Appreciate that. It's good of you. Lorenz Griffith says, I was lurking from the start and I thought this animation, the animating was fun. Well, I appreciate it, Lorenz. That's cool. Arch Hippie says, hey, Harry, congratulations on finishing a cartoon. Thank you, Arch Hippie. I aim to finish more than one in my life, but I may have to just be content with the one. Okay, alright now. That's it. Those fingers are too tight together. It'd be much nicer if it was more that look of surprise I think you get when the fingers are sort of spread out like that. Hooey. Okie doke. Well, there you have it. There you have it. Get the arm in there like that. And that was a funky looking little arm, I tell you. That's not a very good looking arm, but in motion I think it'll do the trick, and I'll be okay with it. Just clean up that hand a little bit. I don't want the assistant getting the wrong idea. You want to make sure you're not leaving construction lines that you're sort of not intending to be cleaned up. Okay. Alright, well I will not delete this drawing at the end because I'm actually going to clean that one up myself and get it, you know, colored so that it looks like this one here. All nice like that there. Gonna get that end one cleaned up, which might be a fun way of ending the stream, because what I'll probably do is after the stream is I'll probably add I can actually have the hair drag down more because I got an idea of a sort of timing of things. I'm going to actually have to have the hair. Yeah, what I'll do after the stream is I'll add a few more drawings to kind of ease it out, because I want to do sort of, you know, let me just sort of give you an idea. I don't want him to just go down and then spring right back up. I want him to kind of go down some more, have the arm lift up some more, so that kind of thing. So he's got to go, and then, you know, when he goes up here, it's not just going to be a case of him getting up and then reaching that position and immediately going down. What we'll do is we'll sort of try and have him kind of exaggerate a little bit more. So more like, yo, like that, you know, so that the animation is a bit more, obviously not that slow. I think you get the idea. So for example, the hair would actually start to sort of straighten and lengthen out and look sort of normal. By this point, it would start to do this. And then probably the arms would sort of overshoot, continue to move upwards. I'm not really doing a good job of it here because I'm just trying to give you an idea of what it would look like, but without the sound effects, without it's not, you know, Matrix Revolutions. So yeah, that kind of thing. So what I'll do is, what I'll finish on today is I will clean up this one frame, and you guys can see what it looks like when I send it off to the animators. Usually I'll give a color guide, but we already know what the colors of the shot are. You know where the shadows are falling. We know that this side is light, this side is dark. So I don't need to worry about that too much. But I will clean up this bad boy and hopefully make it look kind of nice. Uncolored, but still kind of nice. So you can start to see some of that nice line art coming in there. Let's dial the smoothing of my brush up to 13. No, let's go with 12. Let's go with 12. And if there's anything happening in the comments I need to address, I'll take it up with you guys. Let me see. Just me says animation is such necromancy. Aha! Yeah. Yeah. It's a funny way of putting it. The rest of your life dies, and you can't bring that back to life. But you certainly bring into life a bunch of pixels or drawings or whatever. Robert Bartson says, big fan, Harry. Loved your stuff for years. See you collaborating with Dead Meat is more than awesome. Oh, thank you, Robert. Yeah, Dead Meat are great. Very nice of them to give me an opportunity and to think of me on this project. I think we'll make something really cool. Arhibez. Every time these great guys are in the chat, you got to check out their animation, by the way, like their Overwatt cartoon and their Heavy Metal Batman. They're fantastic guys. I always ask them how to say their name, and I don't ever spy their response in time. But they say special thanks for putting Russian bees in the new Dr. Bees. Ah, Russian bees, no! Yeah, thank you, man. These Russian doll bees housing smaller and smaller bees. I don't know why you guys needed to hear that. You know I do the voices, but well, I appreciate Ariane liking the special effects. They're certainly special. The S I thought could stand for someone else, but conjuration is more accurate, says Tranium. It's something. Animation is something. You know what's not something? Animation cleanup. It's a necessary evil, unfortunately. Look at that. Look at that. Look at that. Can't make it look nice. Oh boy. There we go. You can have a nice chilled end to the stream where Harry does some cleanup. It's the only cleaning I'm going to be doing today. I do have a shower on the near horizon because yeah, boy smells. Back in the gym now that they've reopened, doing my cardio. I got another session tomorrow and getting sweaty. I've actually sweat more this past week than I think any week of my entire life. Parts of me have sweat that I didn't realize would get sweaty. I used to think that sweaty meant like a misting on the forehead, you know, like a kind of a dampness on the forehead or the brow. And I've had fat droplets of sweat running down my face and my nose and going into my mouth, actually dropping off me onto the machine. You know, it's not just a mist, it's actually running off my face onto the machine. And yesterday and today, it was running in my mouth and I was tasting it and it's so salty. I'm talking about sweat for people that have just joined us. And my own sweat, not anybody else's. And the weird thing is, like, when I wash it off me, I realize how, like, slimy it is. It's not, you know, it's not water that's coming out of you. I mean, it is, but it's not thin, watery kind of sort of texture. It's, like, really gummy almost. Maybe that's just me. Maybe I got to look at my diet and stop eating so much lubricant. Alright, well, let's put that mouth in there. Now this is a mistake that I wanted to correct. I couldn't make up, so this sort of makes it look like he's got more hair, but I didn't really like the way that looks, so I'm actually going to go with just the straight line like that. I don't like that amount of detail. Though now it actually looks better to have that little detail on the side, but oh well. Oh boy, can't draw that one line. Alright folks, it's 9 a.m. Harry, come on. Wakey wakey. It's 9 p.m. in the UK, so I'm going to be heading off just after this drawing is finished. But not before reading some more chats. Have you taken a bath, Harry? That's the good stuff. No, the last bath I took I think was 2017. Not a big bath taker. More into the showers. You know what it is? I don't like wasting time. I'll waste time with family and friends, because that's not really time wasted. But when it's just me on my own, I don't want to just sit in a bath and enjoy myself. Time is... it's too precious when you're making animations. You know, they just take too long to make. So what you want to do is try and be a miser with your time in other ways. Yeah, come on. Robert Bartson says they have a mask no matter what mandate at my gym. A mask at the gym? What the heck? Yeah, but I don't like that. I don't like... You need to breathe very heavily in a gym. Yeah. No, there's no mask mandate at my gym. Thankful for that. I mean, I don't believe that they should be able to ask you to restrict your breathing in any place, but I certainly don't think that a gym is the place to do that. I mean, breathing's mandatory no matter what, but you need absolute access to oxygen if you're exercising. I don't know. I don't care what anyone says. I find it hard to breathe in those things. Anyway, it's kind of a bummer of a topic, so I'm going to jump off that and transition into talking about whatever Agsma's talking about. Agsma says spending time with the family and friends with plugs on their nostrils. No, dude, I'm going to shower. I'm not talking about not washing. Take care, Jan. Thank you for being here. You brightened the place up. So the lines are going to be a little bit messy there on the glasses because they're black. they're going to be filled in all black, the same color as the lines. You're not going to see any kind of messy lines as long as they're on the inside. Rhino Musk says, dude, your patience. You're sitting here watching it. I have to do this. You could be doing anything, my friend. Oh, boy. Harry, why don't you put out a new cartoon? They don't take any time to make. Only hundreds and hundreds of hours. Oh boy. That really skinny brush. Oh, what is this? There you go. Okay, well, we can go a little bit faster maybe on the rest of the body. I don't know, I'm caring more about this cleanup than cleanup on my own projects because I really want it to look good for other people. For some reason, when it's my own stuff, I'm not quite so precious about it. There's some cleanup in Dr. B's that make the Pope weep. Alrighty. Yeah, so we're going a little faster now, right at the end of the stream, Harry boy. These big basketball player hands. Yeah, yep. Alrighty. Rhino Musk says all the extra framework. You're one of the best. Appreciate it, Rhino. I agree. I am one of the best. Horsat says, do you jam out during animation sessions when you're not streaming? Jam out? Well, not with a musical instrument. I mean, I put on music for sure. Today I had on Pump Up the Jam. I don't even know the name of that song. Pump Up the Jam, I guess. Joyce was playing it while working out, and I thought I'd throw it on because it's a funky beat. Yeah, I play music while animating, definitely. Usually movie soundtracks, although more and more I'm listening to those in the gym now, and at home I'm not really listening to all that much. A couple of, I don't know, interviews or something. Lately I've been listening to a guy who just talks about Mortal Kombat facts and Resident Evil facts, and I love just tuning out, and it's pointless information for me to learn, but there's something kind of relaxing. I like the way that he speaks. That's a big thing for me actually on YouTube channels. I just want to I need to like the way the person sounds, and then what they talk about. It has to be interesting as well, but if they have an abrasive or annoying way of talking, then it's sort of harder to get into it. Yeah, like that, and then up like that, and then like that, and put a line there so he knows we don't want all the legs drawn in. Ariane says, that's a mood for doing things better for your clients. I do that on my commissions. I do that with my commissions, and I get more nitpicky and also take more time. Yeah, it's tough. You sort of second guess it when you're working with other people too. Every decision you make, you think, would they like that? Does that need to be better? Do I need to change that? When I'm working for myself, which is, most of the time, I can just go, yeah, that's good, move on. Jacob, animating with one hand, playing the saxophone with the other. Hey, I can sing and animate. That's fun, I guess. Cocaine and Adderall will get you through. Well, thank you, John. I'll take that on board. Arch Hippie says the Pope is famously an animation snob. He is. The Pope is like, I do not like this Family Guy. Why they always use the same stock poses? Why they never do dramatic camera angles on the Family Guy? I do not like. Fun Cubes, any annoying way of talking sounds like you talking about Fit MC, or is that just me? I don't know who that is. I'm sorry. Is that a guy who does top 10s? Lawrence Griffiths says, got to take a Skillshare class. Goodbye. Take care, Lawrence. Enjoy your Skillshare. Skill it up. Gregor, the Scot, reminds me that I need to learn to play the saxophone. You got a saxophone? Gregor, I had like a weird, it's not even an injury. I didn't get hurt. But when I was a kid, I tried playing the saxophone, and I accidentally scraped the wooden reed across my teeth one day, and it was like the worst feeling in the world. Not painful, but I hated it. And now when I think of a saxophone being anywhere near my mouth, or I think about those wooden reeds, I shiver. I kid you not. So if you learn to play the saxophone, you keep that wooden reed away from my mouth, okay? The only person I ever knew that played the saxophone was a girl whose last name was Reed, weirdly enough. And, yeah. How's that for an anecdote? Pump up that jam. Pump up that eraser. Get the drawing finished. Go and sit on a couch. That's my plan. Okay, whoop and whoop, like doop, like doop, like that, like doop. There we go. No, come on, Harry. Don't create tangents here. Already got a couple going on in this drawing, like the hand there near the jacket or the shirt, whatever he's wearing. All right, I think that's the line art done for this bad boy. This bad boy. Yeah, boy. Alright. Okie dokie. Well, there you go. So it's not finished yet, but it's this sort of action. Raw, like that. Raw, yeah. And tell you what, we'll do one more here. These are very rough frames, these little copied and pasted ones, because I mean, you need to redraw them entirely and fix all the overlap and stuff that's going on, but it sort of gives you an idea. Oh, hang on, it's still not right. Yeah, see, there's a gap missing. I really need an in-between there. And then a bunch of in-betweens easing in at the end. But there we have it, ladies and gentlemen. It's still not done. I got a bunch of work to do. I'll probably say like 3 or 4 more in-betweens to add and some easing out for the assistants, and maybe clean up another frame or two, but that's kind of the interaction there. I know I've dragged this frame out to last twice as long, but like that. It's a big old cartoony reaction, basically. It's a reaction GIF. We made a Fine Brothers react video here. Excuse me, my messy desktop. You don't want to see that. We did a Fine Brothers react video to go in this animated intro, which I'm doing for the Dead Meat YouTube channel, which you will be able to see at some point in the future. I don't think I'm allowed to say or give any kind of clue of when this is coming out, so I'll just say at some point in the future, not some point in the past. It is not being retroactively introduced to the people who have lived before us. We're not sending it back in time or putting it, on a satellite and sending it through a black hole so that it bothers cavemen in a kind of Kubrick way. All right, I'm getting silly and punch drunk and I'm talking nonsense. I'm going to take my leave of you all. But here we go. There's James. There's Zoran. Together, they're making the Zoran Show, which is not really a thing. That's not what the show is going to be called. I'm not going to tell you the title. I'll wait for you to find out. But I'll probably be working on this again sometime in the coming weeks. And then the next animation after that will be Starbarians, baby. My baby. Starbarians episode 4. Can't wait. I guess I can't wait. It's kind of exciting, I guess. Thank you to everyone that came by today. Robin Z. I didn't get a chance to talk to you, but we got Gregor, Davi88, Bowser the Dog, Donny Arts, Fun Cubes, Terranium, 357 Sneak, Dajo Paho, Winston Gregory. Winston Gregory says, how long have commissions been your primary source of income? I don't know. Not really my primary. It's sort of half and half, really. I don't know, a couple of years, 3-4 years. Davi88, I'm not sure if I said hello to you or goodbye to you yet. I think I said hello. Arch Hippie, Edie, Jizme, and Ariane, of course. Stalktoons, who I'll probably be talking to again very soon. And Axma and Kid Perfect. Kid Perfect says, what the fuck? Appreciate it, Kid Perfect. Thank you for your review. Animated Taco as well. Alright, everyone. I'm going to be heading off now. You have a good night. I'm going to go and be exhausted somewhere. Take care, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you, Tamagotchi. Thank you, Dootsy Cutesy Patootie. Dootsy Cutie Patootie. Tyler Comu. Ubis and Cole Shut. Alright, everyone. I'm heading off now. Bye-bye. That's life. That's what all the people say. Do-do-do, trying to end it on a high note, and I can't. Goodbye.